Balake, where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is back, everyone. Welcome back for a little bit more SPTV, where, as always, every day is a great day not to be in a cult. You know who done messed up? Scientology agent, Hatchet Man, John Blosser. Is that his right name? Let me check. Yeah. Let me see. John Blosser. Yep, John Blosser is his name. John Blosser is a guy who self-identifies as a journalist, but what he really is a professional agent for hire. In this case, for hire by Scientology. This is a guy who has been on Scientology's payroll working to loudly investigate and intimidate and harass critics of Scientology. He calls himself a journalist. Now, I realized in preparing for this video, there's three words that I have been guilty of. When one of these words is used, I think the other word, and I realize they're not the same thing. That is investigator, private investigator, and of course, investigative journalist. So I think sometimes when I've heard the word investigator, I have thought private investigator. And so at first I thought John Blosser was actually a private investigator. Yeah, he's not. He's a journalist, but really he's an investigative journalist, but really he's a for-hire hatchet man for Scientology. Now, this came on my radar recently because Scotty, AKA Defender of Ants, has once again shown how he is he is an intimidating foe in the battle against Scientology. Scotty got word that this John guy was contacting his friends, his family members, people from his past. And what he did was to actually just call John live on YouTube while live streaming on YouTube. And he had a 30-minute phone call with this guy live on YouTube. And what I've done, well, first, I wanted to be able to share that phone call with you, but it was a half hour long. I've edited it down to 10 minutes. And with Scott's permission, I'm going to share that portion with you. And then I thought, you know what? Oh, and by the way, you better believe that one of the questions John asked Scott in the phone call was he asked about me, except instead of calling me Aaron Asmithlevin, he called me Aaron Scott Levin. And I was like, you know, if this guy will answer the phone for DOA, maybe he'll answer the phone for me. So I called him about an hour ago, and he did answer the phone, and I've got that phone call for you as well. Now, let me show you Scotty's channel, guys. Scott deserves all of the credit here. And given everything Scott's done and given everything he's about to do over the next month, you guys aren't even going to believe it. I don't know if Scott's already announced what he's going to be doing. But if you are not yet subscribed to Scott's channel, you've got to get over there and subscribe to DOA. In the meantime, let's buckle up, folks. I just want to play for you the phone call. Well, here, let me change the view. Maybe I'll do it this way. Let's listen to this phone call, guys. This is just under 10 minutes long. I'll try not to interrupt. Here we go.
Hello, how are you doing?
Who's calling?
My name is Scotty, and yeah, I just wanted to call you back here.
What do you mean?
You're an investigator for the Church of Scientology, are you not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so when I first watched this clip, when he said you're an investigator, I heard private investigator, but I still think it's amazing that the guy answers in the affirmative to the question. You are an investigator for Scientology. He did not say you're a journalist working on a story. Anyway, you guys heard it.
Hold on a second. You just woke me up from a nap. Yeah, I guess I am that. What can I do for you?
Nothing. I am recording this, and I wanted to call back, and I know you called my friends Jay and Kaylin out in Florida, and so I figured I'd just call you and answer any questions that you might have.
Just let me get my head together for a second. I've been working on a story. Apparently, you've been annoying the Scientology people for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering why.
Well, I annoy a lot of people. It's just, I think it's my charisma or my great personality. I'm not really sure. Just kind of concerned. I know you work for the National Enquirer and everything. People would say I'm annoying. Other people would say I'm a hero. It kind of depends on who you ask. I find myself annoying at times. It's not necessarily illegal or anything wrong with being annoying. Yeah, I told my friend Jay and Kaylin that they could answer any questions, and that, you know, like I'm an open book, and I really don't hide from anything.
I mean, it seems to me that antagonizing the police is like one of your things that you enjoy doing.
Well, like yesterday, I went and sat down with Officer Gomez of the Northeast Division, and I had a wonderful conversation with her. She was amazing. And like every group or organization, there's good and bad in that group. And so I just wanted to, you know, I tried real hard to make friends with Officer Jennings of the Brevard County Sheriff, and he kept on telling lies. And when people start lying, it becomes a big issue for me.
Let me ask you a question. I've heard that you or whatever, as a professional protester. Do you see yourself that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a professional.
How can you be a professional protester?
I mean, just like you could be a professional at any, really, you could do an apprenticeship for just basically anything. You do 10,000 hours of anything, you become an expert. So
you would protest anything for as long as you were bringing in money?
I protest anything that aligns with my heart and my moral compass. And I love getting money for doing stuff that I believe in and stand up for.
It strikes me as weird. I've been running into a number of people who've been doing that lately with like live stream, computer, stuff. And I don't know. Are you familiar with like Aaron Scott Levin?
Yeah, Aaron Smith-Levin. Yes, I'm very familiar with him.
Or I was thinking of you. I mean, he's done that. He goes to the live stream thing, gets out, agitates, stirs things up, runs a live stream, and people are sending him money.
Yeah, my mom says that nobody works for free. And so I do believe that. I'm sure you got paid good when you were at the National Enquirer.
Not bad. By the way, are you familiar with Christopher Brown, somebody who knew you in the trucker protest that was going on?
Oh no, I mean, but I have a lot of haters there. If you're gonna find dirt, I would fact check those statements from anyone from there. But yes.
Why would you create haters? How does that happen?
Oh, it's funny. Why would you have haters? He doesn't. Why does Scientology have haters? You act like if anyway, the guy's dishonest. There's so many parts of this conversation that are infuriating. And like I said, I've edited 66% of this conversation out. But in some of the earlier parts of this conversation, you could be tricked into believing that John is some sort of an honest actor and is willing to engage. But the truth is, the parts that I edited out were the parts where he was just actually really just insulting Scott, like really serious, like just really calling him names and stuff. But anyhow, let's keep going.
Is Christopher Brow? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, Wizzy.
Yeah, Wizzy, right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, Wizzy hates me.
Let me ask you something. If you were not doing this whole protest thing, what would you be doing for a living?
I would be in waterfalls, in springs, and enjoying my life, and not being in the woods in the national forest. I don't really have many bills, so I don't really have to work much. And so I much rather be in the woods and at some waterfalls. But right now, after hearing a bunch of the stories of the former Scientologists growing up in Scientology and some of the abuses that they suffered, mainly that they had no childhood, that they were digging trenches.
Do you know any Scientologists?
Yeah, I know quite a few ex-Scientologists.
No. Current Scientologists. Do you know any?
Just Wizzy. Just Christopher Brown.
The thing I'm trying to find out, I mean, I've met...
That's a great t-shirt idea for DOA's channel. Who, Wizzy?
Scientologists. And I've been up to Clearwater. I've been to the headquarters. I've met a lot of them. I found them to be quite nice and honest and moral people who, and that if you want to quit, you just walk out the door and you quit. That's it. I don't understand the motivation behind this protest stuff. I don't get it.
It's really the second gen Scientologists who grew up over in the Gold Base and Hemet on the ranch and at the thing. And then Serge Delmar, was brought from Honduras, and I think what's concerning is the massage tables in the auditing rooms and the children auditing grown men. And I think that's really where a lot of the protests, the fire comes from, is that those children, 10, 12-year-olds, same with Jenna Miscavige, Serge Delmar, Laura, when they were 12 years old, they were asking men about masturbation and anal sex. And I think that's where, I know for me personally, that is where that's what's my drive, right?
Do you have any proof of that at all?
I just am going off of the testimony of these people that really have nothing to gain and everything to lose from this. I would agree. There most definitely are grifters and people, like every group and every organization. There's good and bad people. Would you not agree?
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah.
Real quick, guys, for anyone just brand new to the stream, this is an excerpt that I'm playing from a video that Scotty posted yesterday, or it was a live stream that he did. So if you're not yet subscribed to DOA, hey, DOA, I do see that you're in the live chat there. Awesome to see you here. Thank you for joining. If you're not yet subscribed to DOA, please definitely go and do so. And here we go.
Right. Oh. Like the police, there's good and bad people. The protesters, there's good and bad people. The Church of Scientology, there's good and bad people. And that's just the reality of it. Are there other abuses in other churches? Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah.
But me, it's more the use of the children and the children not really seeing their parents. I think that's where the abuse really starts coming in. I know that a lot of those people who were in the Sea Org, they saw their parents once a week on Sunday for 2 hours, if they got all their work done. And I would be devastated if I didn't see my parents, my mom or my dad on a daily basis as a kid, 7 or 8 years old. I'm just trying to convey to you why I'm here. And you could run whatever you want on me, that I'm a paid protester and everything, but I'm here. You have my phone number, and I'm an open book. And I hope you might reconsider that maybe you might be erring in some of, you might be missing out on some of the abuses that the church has done.
I think there's a lot of people who are not in it for the right reasons. For example, you, who are identifying yourself as a paid professional protester. To me, that ain't the right reasons. You're not doing it out of the goodness of your heart or out of deep-felt ideological, conviction or anything. No.
Well, I mean, do you agree with freedom of speech?
I agree with freedom of speech. I agree with freedom to be a decent human being. But I mean, I'm not trying to, jump on you, but I'm just trying to show you that you're not clean in this, pal.
No, I mean, I'm not. You know how many people hate me because of my protest there? I understand that.
Let me ask you another question. Somebody mentioned to me that when you were arrested, I think this was at that restaurant protest thing across the street from the Celebrity Center, that you ended up making $12,000 off of that.
Yeah, I think it was actually $13,000.
And how did you do that? How did you make that money?
I was in a cage for like 6 days, and I don't know, people were just rallying behind me, and they sent a bunch of money on all my different platforms. So it was nice to get kind of caught up.
I love how this guy, and I don't know if it's genuine. I'm talking about John, the so-called fake journalist. I love how he's pretending not to understand the difference between being paid to do something, as if you're on someone's payroll, as if, and having people who watch your content that want to support you. Like, the guy can't really be dumb enough not to understand the difference, right? Like, he sort of has to pretend that he thinks there's some, someone pulling the strings and paying people to do this. Anyway, it's just different. You guys know it's different. I have to wonder whether he's just pretending not to know the difference.
I just have a hard time accepting that you're out there doing this to make money. You're dumping on other people who've got legit beliefs. They're perfectly legit, but you're doing it to make money. That's your thing. You misbehave to make money. I'm sorry, I don't see you as clean in this.
Yeah, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. And I would defend your right to, to have your opinion on items and things. That's what makes America so great.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me, as I'm working on this project, let me get back to you.
Okay.
if I run into more questions, and I will, I certainly appreciate you calling me. I didn't have your number until now.
Well, you got it, and yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you write my hit piece.
You know, I tried to talk to your sister, and she wouldn't talk to me about it.
Yeah, well, my sister doesn't like me, so
yeah,
she must not like you either.
Well, you know,
can't win them all.
Anyway, I appreciate you calling me, man, and I will be getting back to you.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day.
Thanks a lot. You too.
All right. Bye.
Oh, I must have edited this one part out where he says, thanks for calling me. Basically, I didn't have your number before this. And I thought to myself when I heard the part, I was like, oh, you have his sister's phone number. You have the phone number of a guy who used to know in a previous protest, but you don't have his phone number. So stupid. Okay, so anyway, I watched that and I said, hey, maybe John wouldn't mind getting a phone call from me. Maybe he would be a little loose with the lips if I gave him a phone call. And to be honest, I knew that I would not be anywhere near as comfortable calling this guy as Scott is. I mean, Scott's just freaking born natural. I was actually quite nervous, but I did it anyway. And I kept him on the phone for, well, 7 minutes. And I think I did what I wanted to do. So let's listen to that. And let's see, because this is going to get some inception level weirdness here. Do I go like this? Do I go like this? Yeah, let's do it like that. Why not? I mean, we could just go like this, but I'm not sure that I like that. So let's do this.
Hello.
John.
Who's calling?
Hey, it's Asmithlevin.
Pardon me?
It's Asmithlevin.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I saw a video yesterday about you had a conversation with Scotty, DOA.
Yeah.
And anyway, you admitted that you're investigating people on behalf of Scientology, and I wanted to ask you more about that.
No, actually, I didn't. I said I would.
I caught him in a lie. He did say that. Scotty said, you're an investigator for Scientology, and he said yes.
I was working on an article.
With Scotty, DOA?
Yeah.
And anyway, you admitted that you're investigating people on behalf of Scientology, and I wanted to ask you more about that.
No, actually, I didn't. I said I was working on an article for them. But let me ask you again, who is this?
It's Asmithlevin. You literally asked Scott about
Aaron,
me.
how you doing? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, he asked you, aren't you a private investigator working for Scientology? And you said yes. See, I misquoted Scott there. What Scott said, are you an investigator?
Well, I'm not. I'm a journalist, and I was writing an article. I'm a freelance journalist. I write articles for various places. One of them happens to be Scientology.
All right. But you mentioned to him that they even flew you all the way to Clearwater, Florida to tour their base and meet some people. That sounds a little unusual for someone who's writing hit pieces on behalf of Scientology, though.
I don't care how it sounds. It's the fact. I was up there for a couple of days putting together some articles.
Right. Okay. But you also even investigated an attorney.
Are you live streaming this, Aaron?
I'm not.
Are you playing the same shit that Scotty played yesterday?
Well, Scotty was live streaming. You can check my channel. I'm not live streaming.
Whatever. Okay.
I mean, you can look at my channel right now. I'm not live streaming.
I'm not going to look at your channel. What can I do for you?
Well, I just, I mean, you know, he didn't even ask me if I was recording. He only asked me if I was live streaming. You used to work for the tabloids, and then you worked for InfoWars, and now you're working for Scientology.
What the hell is InfoWars?
Come on, you're telling me a journalist like yourself doesn't know what InfoWars is? Come on now.
I never worked for InfoWars. I have no idea what it is.
All right, then. All right.
It's never been one of my clients.
Did you get fired from the tabloids for saying Philip Seymour Hoffman had a gay lover?
For what?
For saying Philip Seymour Hoffman had a gay lover?
No.
You didn't?
There was what happened was the Enquirer closed down in Florida, fired everybody, and moved to New York.
Right. Okay. I'm going to show you guys the evidence that he did get fired from the Enquirer for saying Philip Seymour Hoffman had a gay lover. I'm going to show you the evidence after the call. Okay. I mean, is there no professional blowback for being seen as just being a mouthpiece for a human trafficking cult? I mean, come on. I mean, how do you go from being a journalist? I mean, you call yourself a journalist. How do you go from being a journalist to a writer for hire for a human trafficking cult that harasses its former members?
I'm a professional freelance writer. That's what I do. And I don't see anything of that nature in Scientology. I haven't seen anybody who's got any proof of anything like that in Scientology.
What about the Danny Masterson rape trial, where it was proven that Scientologists are excommunicated for going to the police about rape and child sexual assault?
I'm doing what I do for a living, and I'm good at it, and that's that. You know, I've been doing
Is he good at it though?
it for 50 years or more, and I've got nothing to apologize for.
Are you basically saying you're a writer for hire, or do you actually consider yourself a journalist?
Of course, I'm a writer for
Hold
hire.
on.
Have you ever met a writer who was not?
Hold on. Or do you actually consider yourself a journalist? A journalist is not what I would call a writer for hire, where you can just hire someone to write the story that you want them to write.
I do consider myself a journalist, but I'm also for hire. I'm a freelance journalist.
So it just so happens that Scientology can hire you to write a story about a person, and never in your investigating or your writing or anything do you ever go, oh, maybe I'm being used here as a tool to attack people and harass people, and this isn't actually writing.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I know about your record with things. I know about stuff you've done. Believe me, I got nothing to apologize for. Certainly not to the likes of you. Okay.
Well,
So
I didn't ask you to apologize to me.
What I do is a profession. You don't like it? Tough shit.
Well, that's true. But have you heard of Whitney Mills?
Pardon?
Whitney Mills. You said you've been to Clearwater, Florida. Have you heard of Whitney Mills?
No, not off the top of my head, no.
Okay. Well, she's a local Clearwater, Florida, born and raised girl, not born and raised in Scientology. She got into Scientology through her boyfriend. She went all the way up to OT8. That's Tom Cruise level. And then she told her contacts at Scientology that she wanted to kill herself. And they put her under watch. And I know you know this because I know you know about Lisa McPherson, because back in 1999, you wrote an article about Lisa McPherson. So they put Whitney Mills under watch. This is just last year, John. They put Whitney Mills under watch just like they did Lisa McPherson. And then after a while, they took her. Hold on. No, we're going to.
Why do you insist on talking about this?
Okay.
First off, here's
John, real quick. John, give me 30 seconds. John, just give me 30 seconds.
Listen to me.
John, just give me 30 seconds.
I'm going to hang up if you don't let me talk.
Well, okay, go ahead. He should have just hung up.
Okay, everybody I've met in Scientology, and I've met quite a few people actively in Scientology, very happy with it. Very moral people, very straightforward people who all know where the door is. And anytime they want to leave, they can leave.
And they'll lose all their family.
Your opinion that everybody should leave, nobody cares, Aaron.
And John,
nobody cares.
And when they leave, they lose all their family and everyone they've ever known.
If their family chooses to stay, yeah. It's the family's choice, not theirs.
Okay. So once Whitney said she wanted to die, they took the watch off of her and she set herself on fire and shot herself in the head.
Well, okay. I'm sorry about that, but obviously she was a very disturbed person, you know.
Yeah. A disturbed person who wasn't allowed to seek mental health treatment because Scientology doesn't allow it.
Well, obviously, hold on. Really? Okay, just a minute. The bottom line is, Aaron, I'm not going to get into this with you. I'm not particularly impressed with your history or your background. I don't think we have a whole lot to talk about. I've read a great deal about you. I know a lot about you. And the bottom line is, I don't care what you think about me. Yeah. Why would I?
I don't know why you would, but I just
Adolf Hitler would think about me. I certainly would not.
You just compared someone. You just compared someone who was born and raised in Scientology to Adolf Hitler.
No, I'm just saying anybody. I wouldn't care what Joe Biden thought about me. I don't care about this.
Are you comparing Joe Biden to Hitler now? You've got Aaron Smith-Levin, Joe Biden, and Hitler. Is that how we're connecting dots?
We're done with this, Aaron. Goodbye.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know why this guy stays on the phone with us. InfoWars, what's that?
Oh my God. Okay. So in looking up John Blosser, the information about where the information came from that he got fired from the tabloids for being too tabloidy is actually from an article on the Underground Bunker blog from about 14 months ago. So check this out. Now, Graham Barry is an attorney who's been dealing with Scientology cases for a very, very long time. And all of a sudden, Graham Barry started hearing that John Blosser was contacting his peeps. And an article was written about this. And I'll actually put a link to this article in the description down below. Oh, look. Yeah. Look. So look, Graham Barry first heard that John Blosser was contacting his friends, families, and associates back in 2021. So this hack, this hatchet man, this Scientology agent has been doing the cult's dirty work for at least 3 years now. And there's some quotes here from L. Ron Hubbard's policies on how to do noisy investigations. You find out where he or she works or worked, doctor, dentist, friends, neighbors, anyone, and you phone them up and you say, I'm investigating Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so for criminal activities as he or she has been trying to prevent mankind's freedom and is restricting my religious freedom and that of my friends and children, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this blog post links to a daily news article that talks about John Blosser getting sacked from the National Enquirer. And this is the headline of that article. Philip Seymour Hoffman's friend vows to sue the National Enquirer for $50 million over a report that they were gay lovers. That report was written by none other than Scientology hack John Blosser. And what's funny is that even at the end of this article, Tony Ortega does the same thing that DOA did and what I did. And he's like, why don't we just call the guy up? Why does John keep talking to us? So Tony goes, is it true that you're writing for Freedom Magazine, which is Scientology's publication they use for writing, publishing hit pieces? And John goes, I have. Are you working for an article about Graham Barry? Yes. How's the pay at Scientology? I'm not going to answer that. I guess you had a problem at the Enquirer. No, not really. Wasn't my problem. Working for the Church of Scientology, isn't that bottom of the barrel? I decline to answer. I mean, why does this dude take phone calls from people who are just going to publish the phone calls? So there you go, guys. I couldn't really find any social media profiles for the guy. I didn't look very hard. I couldn't easily find photos of the guy other than what I've put up in the thumbnail of this video. But guys, honestly, like professionally speaking, who would want to be known as a non-Scientologist? Who would want to be known as one of these bottom of the barrel lowlifes, just taking Scientology's money to do hatchet jobs on them? I'd be like, write your own damn articles. But I don't know, maybe the guy just needs the money, who knows? But it's pretty pathetic. I mean, when you're too lowbrow, when you're too unethical for the Enquirer, well, I guess those are the type of people Scientology hires, though, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's see. Barbara, SBTV Tattoo Warriors, been in the back, starring comments. Thank you so much, Barb. We got DOA here. Busted. Don't call my family. Exactly. And yeah, DOA says he called my sister and he called my mom. Hey, look, you know, SPTV is here to make famous the scum who take Scientology's blood money to do their dirty work. That's what we're here for, guys. That's one of the main things on the charter. Make the scum famous. You're going to take money. You're going to harass people. You're going to harass people's family members. We're going to make you famous. And we're going to get paid to do it. So that's just a fact. Clara, how do I say? Ice Noggle, pants on fire, pants on fire, pants on fire. I'm guessing when Clara punched that in, it was emojis. And YouTube decided to translate it into text. Okay, Zal Storm says, so is he harassing Scotty and Scotty's family and friends and enemies for free? Yeah, exactly, right? Ren, listen, so where did Blosser get all those other numbers? And that's where the private investigators come in. And honestly, you don't actually have to, well, no, you do have to have certain, you don't have to have a private investigator's license to get access to the TLO Experian databases, but it is one of the several ways to get access to those databases. So Scientology hires lawyers who hire private investigators who pull the info and give it to scumbags like John Blosser to do something with the info. Let's see. Asen says, is it okay? Aaron Smith-Levin is showing the phone call of Aaron Scott-Levin. Okay. Oh, yeah. You confused him because he thinks you're Aaron Scott-Levin. Yeah, exactly. Becca Jean says, how can he be a professional freelance writer, but Scott can't be a professional protester? Yeah, exactly. Philosophy says, that's not being a journalist. That's being a propaganda agent. Yeah, precisely. I mean, he knew where I was getting at, but I just can't believe. I just can't believe he takes the phone calls. He stayed on the phone with Scotty for 30 minutes. It'll be interesting to see what John ends up doing with the things that were said in that phone call. But guys, it's just content for us. Like, that's what these guys don't understand. They're just wasting their time. They're spinning their wheels. They're just throwing their tax-free money out the window because they've got nothing else that they can do. Whatever it is that John writes, we're all going to do videos about it, and we're going to make money on the videos. The reason we get paid, John, is because of you. David Miscavige is the #1 sponsor of SPTV. Without David Miscavige, none of this would be possible. So anyway, it will be interesting to see what they do with the phone call. I love how, I think it was in the phone call when Scotty woke him up. He was having a nap. It was the middle of the day, but Scotty woke him up from a nap. DOA says, John doesn't know that every one of my friends will be reaching out to make sure that my hit piece is good. I absolutely love it. Squirrel, you'll be a woman soon. All right. The guy is a hack. Computer stuff. Doesn't know the names of the folks he's investigating. Yeah, exactly. Oh boy. All right. Some of these I'm not going to bring up. Just a little scandalous. Gonna keep it not quite so spicy today. Okay. Swedish Andrea says, ugh, he sounds so Scientology. Yep. Pink Ladybug, sorry, Osa. Try again. And Caroline TG, all of the channels should call him one by one. Yes, they should. If Scientology's paying this guy, hopefully they're paying him by the hour. Let's help him save up some extra money, get some extra Christmas presents at the end of the year for the great grandkids. The grandkids, the great grandkids. Let's put that tax-free money to some use and put it towards presents for children. All right, guys, I got another video coming up in about 15 to 30 minutes. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for hanging out with me. As always, thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.